I caught my wife cheating with my best friend. So, I'm 26, software engineer, pulling in about $122K a year. My wife Brianna knew all our financial details inside and out. We'd been married 6 years, had a 4-year-old daughter, and honestly, I thought everything was good between us. But then my car breaks down on the highway one day and my coworker ends up driving me home around 11 in the morning on a Tuesday. I walk into our bedroom, and there she is with Michael, my best friend from college, who was supposed to be at work. Brianna cried for 2 solid days, apologizing, begging, the whole 9 yards. But then on day 3, she completely switched up. We're standing in the kitchen, and she just looks at me and goes, "Look, we both know you're not leaving. You'll be paying me child support and alimony for years, no matter what." And that's when something just clicked in my head. So I told her I needed time to think and moved to my mom's place. She kept pushing for marriage counseling, and I agreed. I played the hopeful husband for a full 12 months while I put my plan together. First thing I did was open a bank account in Mexico under my mom's name. She's got dual citizenship, so that worked out. I transferred $47,000 from our joint account in small amounts over 3 months to avoid any alerts. Second, I downgraded our entire lifestyle. We had this 3,000 square foot house, rent was $3,200 a month. And I moved us into a $1,200 apartment and told her the counseling was expensive, so we needed cut costs. She complained about it for weeks. Third, I pressured her to get a job. She fought me hard on that, said she needed to stay home with our daughter. I brought up the affair. She ended up starting at Target making $16 an hour. The whole time I'm going to counseling, nodding along, acting like I'm working through it and healing. She genuinely started believing we were gonna make it work. I watched her relax and get comfortable again. Month 11, I hired a lawyer. Month 12, I came home from work, put the divorce papers on the kitchen counter and said, "It's done." Her face just went pale. "But we've been doing so well. I thought you'd forgiven me. You hadn't cheated." And I said, "You did." I left that night and never went back. Leading up to the court date, she kept showing up at my mom's house in these outfits, trying to win me back. I'd crack the door open, say, "Brianna, go home," and close it. She tried that 11 times. Court day comes around. I'd sold my car for $2,000 the week before and had my mom drive me. Brianna showed up with her lawyer looking all confident. And here's where things got really interesting. She knew about my separate bank account, so I had to disclose it. The judge looked at my tax returns showing $122K annual income, then at my account balance of $4,200. "Where's the rest?" the judge asked. And I just kept a blank face and said, "My girlfriend's expensive. Trips, presents, you know how it goes." Brianna's lawyer demanded proof. So I showed them Venmo transfers to my sister with vague notes like date night and surprise trip. All real transactions, just not actually for a girlfriend. The judge ruled a standard split. Brianna got awarded $7,400 monthly in alimony plus child support. She literally smiled at me leaving the courthouse. "That's more than I make in 2 months. I'm quitting Target." And I told her, "You should keep that job." She just laughed and said, "Why would I?" 3 days later, I moved to Thailand. Cost me $107,000 for a 15-year elite visa, property deposit, and getting everything set up. Worth every single cent. I called her from the Bangkok airport. "Brianna, you should really get your job back at Target." She goes, "What are you saying?" And I told her, "I'm not in America anymore. Good luck collecting on that court order." The screaming started immediately, then the threats, then the begging. She called 17 times that first night. Her parents called me, her friends called me, everyone saying I abandoned my daughter, I'm a monster, how could I do this? So I uploaded the photos to Facebook, the ones I'd saved from our home security camera. Brianna and Michael with timestamps and everything. Tagged everyone who'd reached out to me. Turns out Michael had a girlfriend too, and she called me crying asking why I didn't tell her sooner. I didn't even know she existed. That was 2 years ago now. Last I heard from my sister, Brianna's parents took custody of my daughter, and they're actually billing Brianna for child support, her own parents. They blame her for everything, especially after I'd formed a real connection with her dad during the marriage. Brianna's still at Target, actually got demoted for missing shifts. She owes her parents $50,000 for that financial expert who found nothing, credit cards are maxed out, and she's living in a studio apartment. And me, I started sending Brianna's parents $1,000 a week about 4 months after I left. For my daughter, they don't tell Brianna about it. My sister visits them monthly to check in. Brianna still sends me messages sometimes, begging, threatening, apologizing. I never respond.